Are you preparing for the WGU D199 Objective Assessment? Look no further. To aid your learning, our website presents a full suite of materials specifically designed for passing Introduction to Physical and Human Geography. In this video, we will cover questions from types of maps, map projection methods, coordinate reference systems, geospatial data visualization, and data classification techniques. So, let's get started. 1. A geographer is analyzing maps to display population density across a specific geographic area. Which type of map would be most appropriate for this purpose? A. Reference map. B. 𝗂𝗏𝗄𝗏 map. C. Dot density map. D. Conformal projection. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. B. 𝗂𝗏𝗄𝗏 map. Explanation. A 𝗂𝗏𝗄𝗏 map is the most appropriate for displaying population density because it uses color variations to represent different levels of density across geographic areas, making it an effective tool for visualizing population distribution. 2. Which type of map would best illustrate the spread of disease across a region? A. Thematic map. B. Reference map. C. Literal map. D. Conformal projection. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. A. Thematic map. Explanation. A thematic map is designed to highlight specific attributes, such as the spread of disease, by focusing on a particular theme across geographic regions. 3. What is the primary purpose of a map's scale? A. To show the elevation of geographic features. B. To display different color codes on the map. C. To indicate how map distance relates to real-world distance. D. To highlight political boundaries. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer. C. To indicate how map distance relates to real-world distance. Explanation. A map scale shows how the measurement of distance on a map corresponds to the actual distance on the ground, helping users understand the real-world size of geographic features. 4. A map is created using symbols that represent a narrative or point of view, rather than aiming for physical accuracy. What kind of map is this? A. Literal map. B. Figurative map. C. Analytical map. D. Dot density map. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer. B. Figurative map. Explanation. A figurative map uses symbols and abstraction to represent a narrative or point of view, focusing less on physical accuracy and more on conveying ideas. Chanad. 5. Which of the following maps would be best for showing GDP per capita across Europe? A. Dot density map. B. Proportional symbol map. C. Reference map. D. Equal area projection. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. B. Proportional symbol map. Explanation. A proportional symbol map uses symbols of different sizes to represent varying levels of an attribute, such as GDP per capita, across a geographic region. 6. What does the representative fraction, RF, in cartography represent? A. A way to calculate a map's projection. B. A ratio to describe the scale of a map. C. A method to show latitude and longitude. D. A technique for standardizing data. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer. B. A ratio to describe the scale of a map. Explanation. The representative fraction, RF, in cartography is a ratio that describes the scale of a map, such as 1/10,000, which means 1 unit on the map equals 10,000 units in the real world. 7. Which type of projection is used to preserve the relative sizes of land masses, but may distort their shapes? A. Conformal projection. B. Equal area projection. C. 𝗤𝗂𝗃 projection, D. Compromise projection. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. B. Equal area projection. Explanation. An equal area projection preserves the relative sizes of land masses, but often distorts their shapes to achieve this goal. 8. Which map would best show the accurate distances from a central point? A. Conformal projection. B. Equal area projection. C. Equidistant projection. D. Interrupted projection. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. C. Equidistant projection. Explanation. An equidistant projection preserves accurate distances from a central point, though it may distort the shape and size of geographic features. 9. What is the main characteristic of a small-scale map? A. It shows a large geographic area with less detail. B. It shows a small geographic area with more detail. C. It uses symbols to represent data. D. It focuses on a specific theme. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer. A. It shows a large geographic area with less detail. Explanation. A small-scale map represents a large geographic area, such as a country or the world, but with relatively less detail compared to a large-scale map. 10. Which of the following best describes the term projection in cartography? A. A method of flattening a globe to fit a flat surface. B. A process of using color to represent data. C. A technique for creating 3D maps. D. A method of drawing contour lines for elevation. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. A. A method of flattening a globe to fit a flat surface. Explanation. In cartography, projection refers to the method used to represent the 3D surface of a globe on a flat 2D map. 11. The grid pattern used in the geographic coordinate system is called what? A. Prime meridian. B. Graticule. C. Projection. D. Latitude. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. B. Graticule. Explanation. The graticule is the grid pattern made up of latitude and longitude lines in the geographic coordinate system. 12. Which line of longitude passes through Greenwich, UK, and serves as the starting point for counting other lines of longitude? A. Equator. B. Tropic of Cancer. C. Prime meridian. D. International dateline. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. C. Prime meridian. Explanation. The prime meridian is the line of longitude that passes through Greenwich, UK, and serves as the starting point for measuring longitude. 13. Which type of map is typically used to understand patterns and trends within a specific geographic region? A. Reference map. B. Analytical map. C. Proportional symbol map. D. Dot density map. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer. B. Analytical map. Explanation. Analytical maps are used to uncover patterns and trends within a specific geographic region, often utilizing cartographic techniques to visualize data. 14. What system would you use to locate specific places on the surface of the Earth using latitude and longitude? A. Cartesian coordinate system. B. Geographic coordinate system. C. Universal transverse Mercator system. D. Triangulation system. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. B. Geographic coordinate system. Explanation. The geographic coordinate system uses lines of latitude and longitude to locate specific places on Earth's surface. 15. Which coordinate system is based on x, r, and y axes and was developed by René Descartes? A. Geographic coordinate system. B. Cartesian coordinate system. C. Universal transverse Mercator system. D. Prime meridian system. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. B. Cartesian coordinate system. Explanation. The Cartesian coordinate system, based on x and y axes, was developed by mathematician René Descartes for mapping flat surfaces. 16. Which type of map uses points, dots, to represent the density of a particular attribute across a geographic area? A. Choropleth map. B. Dot density map. C. Proportional symbol map. D. Reference map. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. B. Dot density map. Explanation. A dot density map uses dots to represent the distribution of a particular attribute across a geographic area, with each dot typically representing a unit of measurement. 17. What is the difference between small-scale and large-scale maps in terms of geographic features? A. Small-scale maps show more detail. Large-scale maps show less detail. B. Small-scale maps show less detail. Large-scale maps show more detail. C. Both types of maps show the same level of detail. D. Large-scale maps show the world. Small-scale maps show cities. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. B. Small-scale maps show less detail. Large-scale maps show more detail. Explanation. Small-scale maps represent larger areas with less detail, while large-scale maps focus on smaller areas with more detail. 18. Which method is used to convert data from various sources into a uniform format for analysis across a geographic area? A. Aggregation. B. Standardization. C. Classification. D. Symbolization. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer. B. Standardization. Explanation. Standardization in mapmaking involves defining the unit of measurement to represent data equivalently across a geographic area. 19. A thematic map that uses symbols in varying sizes to represent the distribution of an attribute is called what? A. Proportional symbol map. B. Choropleth map. C. Dot density map. D. Reference map. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. A. Proportional symbol map. Explanation. A proportional symbol map uses symbols of different sizes to represent the density or quantity of an attribute across a geographic area. 20. What is the function of a frequency polygon in data visualization? A. To show distribution of categorical variables. B. To connect points plotted from a histogram's bins. C. To represent population density. D. To display the relationship between two variables. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. B. To connect points plotted from a histogram's bins. Explanation. A frequency polygon is a type of line graph created by connecting points from the bins of a histogram, showing the shape of data distribution. 21. Which projection method attempts to maintain both distance and shape accuracy, while compromising slightly on both? A. Interrupted projection. B. Conformal projection. C. Compromise projection. D. Equal area projection. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer. C. Compromise projection. Explanation. A compromise projection seeks to balance accuracy in distance, shape, and area, minimizing distortion without preserving any one property perfectly. 22. Which type of map is most commonly used in navigation due to its ability to preserve angles? A. Equal area projection. B. Compromise projection. C. Conformal projection. D. equidistant projection. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. C. Conformal projection. Explanation. Conformal projections preserve angles, making them useful for navigation and map making where angular accuracy is important. 23. What does a dot in a dot density map typically represent? A. A color variation in data. B. A single unit of a particular attribute. C. The geographic center of a region. D. A political boundary. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer. B. A single unit of a particular attribute. Explanation. In a dot density map, each dot represents a single unit of the attribute being measured, such as one person or one case of disease. 24. What is the goal of classification in map making? A. To divide data into categories or classes for easier comparison. B. To create 3D visualizations of geographic features. C. To analyze the spread of disease. D. To preserve the area of land masses. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. A. To divide data into categories or classes for easier comparison. Explanation. Classification in mapmaking is used to divide data into classes or categories, making it easier to compare across different geographic areas. 25. Which type of projection is characterized by showing the Earth in lobes, resembling an M shape, and minimizing distortion at the cost of other properties? A. Good Homolocene projection. B. Robinson projection. C. Mercator projection. D. Conformal projection. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. A. Good Homolocene projection. Explanation. The good Homolocene projection is an interrupted projection that minimizes distortion by splitting the Earth into lobes, resembling an M shape. 26. What is a compromise projection, primarily used for? A. To show absolute geographic accuracy. B. To balance distortion of distance, shape, and size. C. To create 3D maps. D. To show specific climate data. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. B. To balance distortion of distance, shape, and size. Explanation. Compromise. Projections do not preserve any one property perfectly, but instead seek a balanced distortion across distance, shape, and size for a more general representation. 27. What is the primary use of an equal area projection in cartography? A. To maintain the relative sizes of land masses. B. To display accurate angles for navigation. C. To visualize population density. D. To show economic data. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. A. To maintain the relative sizes of land masses. Explanation. Equal area projections preserve the relative sizes of land masses, making them useful for comparing geographic areas by size. 28. Which type of data visualization method uses a series of vertical rectangles to represent the frequency of a data set? A. Pie chart. B. Histogram. C. Frequency polygon. D. Bar graph. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer. B. Histogram. Explanation. A histogram represents a dataset by organizing it into bins and displaying the frequency of each bin using vertical rectangles. 29. What is the function of a density curve in data visualization? A. To show the trend of a dataset over time. B. To visually smooth out the overall shape of a frequency polygon. C. To represent categorical data. D. To calculate the mean of a dataset. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. B. to visually smooth out the overall shape of a frequency polygon. Explanation: a density curve smooths out the shape of a frequency polygon, showing a continuous distribution rather than a series of connected points. 30. Which type of data visualization is most appropriate for showing the relationship between two variables? A. Dot plot. B. Scatter plot. C. Bar graph. D. Histogram. Do you know the answer? Correct answer: B. Scatter plot. Explanation: a scatter plot is used to represent the relationship between two variables by plotting them as points on a graph with an x and y axis. Struggling with your WGU exams? We've all been there. Welcome to 𝗬𝗂𝗿𝗂𝗋𝗋.com, your ultimate resource for WGU success. Find over 15,000 plus questions and answers. Join our thriving community of over 10,000 active WGU students and an impressive 100% success rate with our premium exam support. Visit 𝗬𝗂𝗿𝗂𝗋𝗋.com today and take the first step toward guaranteed success. 31. What is the term for dividing data into classes of equal sizes in mapmaking? A. Natural breaks. B. Quantile scheme. C. Standardization. D. Classification. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer: B. Quantile scheme. Explanation: a quantile scheme divides data into groups or classes of approximately equal sizes, making it easier to compare across categories. 32. Which feature distinguishes categorical variables in data visualization? A. They are represented by continuous numerical values. B. They are represented by qualitative labels, not numbers. C. They use 3D models for representation. D. They are displayed only in histograms. Do you know the answer? Correct answer: B. They are represented by qualitative labels, not numbers. Explanation: categorical variables are organized using qualitative labels, such as names or categories, rather than numerical values. 33. Which map projection is commonly known for balancing shape, size, and distance for a visually appealing view of the world? A. Mercator projection. B. Robinson projection. C. �𝗂𝗿𝗀𝗃𝗀𝗀 projection. D. Equal area projection. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer: B. Robinson projection. Explanation: the Robinson projection balances shape, size, and distance to create a visually appealing world map, often used in thematic maps. 34. What is the primary characteristic of a scatter plot? A. It uses symbols of varying sizes. B. It plots individual data points to show relationships between two variables. C. It shows color variations to represent population density. D. It divides data into categories based on natural breaks. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer: B. It plots individual data points to show relationships between two variables. Explanation: a scatter plot uses individual data points plotted on an x and y axis to represent the relationship between two variables. 35. Which method of map classification divides data into groups based on naturally occurring gaps in the data? A. Quantile scheme. B. Standardization. C. Equal interval. D. Natural breaks. Do you know the answer? Correct answer: D. Natural breaks. Explanation: the natural breaks classification method identifies gaps in the data to divide it into meaningful classes or groups. 36. A bar graph is best suited for representing which type of data? A. Continuous data ranges. B. Categorical variables. C. Population density. D. Climate data. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer: B. Categorical variables. Explanation. A bar graph is used to represent categorical data, displaying different categories as vertical or horizontal bars. 37. Which type of data is most appropriate for a pie chart? A. Data with multiple variables. B. Continuous numerical data. C. Percentages of a whole. D. Bivariate data. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. C. Percentages of a whole. Explanation. A pie chart is best suited for representing percentages of a whole, with each slice of the pie corresponding to a portion of the total. 38. Which tool is best for visually representing the relationships between categorical variables? A. Pie chart. B. Bar graph. C. Scatter plot. D. Dot plot. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. B. Bar graph. Explanation. A bar graph is ideal for displaying relationships between categorical variables, showing their comparison through the lengths of bars. 39. Which type of visual representation is most effective for showing the spread of data over time? A. Line plot. B. Dot plot. C. Bar graph. D. Scatter plot. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer. A. Line plot. Explanation. A line plot is used to represent data trends over time by connecting individual data points with line segments, effectively showing changes and trends. 40. A region is defined by human purposes rather than by physical characteristics. What kind of region is this? A. Formal region. B. Ecological region. C. Functional region. D. Vernacular region. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. C. Functional region. Explanation. A functional region is defined by human purposes, such as a city's metro area, rather than by natural or physical characteristics. 41. Which of the following is an example of a formal region? A. A cultural region defined by lifestyle and heritage. B. A region with well-defined political boundaries. C. A region defined by urban sprawl. D. A region characterized by economic activities. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. B. A region with well-defined political boundaries. Explanation. A formal region is one with clearly defined boundaries, often used to describe political regions like states or countries. 42. Which term describes the study of human interaction with the biological and physical world? A. Cartography. B. Human environment interaction. C. Ecology. D. Ecosystem analysis. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer. B. Human environment interaction. Explanation. Human environment interaction refers to the study of how humans interact with the natural environment, adapting and modifying it for their needs. 43. A region is defined by common cultural characteristics shared by its inhabitants. What kind of region is this? A. Formal region. B. Functional region. C. Perceptual region. D. Vernacular region. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. D. Vernacular region. Explanation. A vernacular region is defined by the common cultural characteristics, lifestyles, or heritages of the people who live there. 44. Which of the following best describes globalization? A. The division of the Earth's surface into natural boundaries. B. The process of a country achieving economic independence. C. The interconnection of nations through economic and cultural exchange. D. The implementation of natural geographic zones. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. C. The interconnection of nations through economic and cultural exchange. Explanation. Globalization refers to the increasing interconnection of nations across the planet, both economically and culturally. 45. Which type of region is based on subjective perceptions rather than strict geographical or political boundaries? A. Formal region. B. Functional region. C. Perceptual region. D. Vernacular region. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. C. Perceptual region. Explanation. A perceptual region is based on subjective perceptions or mental maps, rather than on clearly defined physical or political boundaries. 46. In which type of economic activity is raw material extraction, such as mining, categorized? A. Secondary economic activity. B. Quaternary economic activity. C. Primary economic activity. D. Tertiary economic activity. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer. C. Primary economic activity. Explanation. Primary economic activities involve the direct extraction of natural resources, such as mining or agriculture. 47. Which term refers to the movement of goods, people, or ideas across geographic space? A. Movement. B. Place. C. Region. D. Human-environment interaction. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. A. Movement. Explanation. Movement refers to the pattern of travel or transfer of goods, people, or ideas across geographic space. 48. What type of region is defined primarily by natural features and predominant land use patterns? A. Formal region. B. Vernacular region. C. Ecological region. D. Functional region. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. C. Ecological region. Explanation. An ecological region is defined by measurable natural features and land use patterns, such as climate and ecosystem types. 49. What is the term for the calculated value of all goods and services produced in a country within a specific year? A. Gross national income, GNI. B. Gross domestic product, GDP. C. Per capita income. D. Human Development Index, HDI. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer. B. Gross domestic product, GDP. Explanation. GDP measures the total value of all goods and services produced within a country in a given year, reflecting the country's economic activity. 50. Which of the following describes sustainability in the context of geography? A. The process of population growth. B. The balance between resource use and conservation. C. The development of urban centers. D. The expansion of industrial activities. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. B. The balance between resource use and conservation. Explanation. Sustainability refers to the balance between the use of natural resources and the need to conserve them for future generations. You've reached the end of our first question set. For the complete exam preparation experience, visit us at 𝗬𝗂𝗍𝒐𝗔.com, where you'll find thousands more practice questions and comprehensive study guides. Thanks for studying with us today. See you in the next video.